Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at a 5-0 team for myself here as well. We're going to take a look at a team for the new Jungle Cup. And honestly, the Jungle Cup is a cup I was very much excited for because looking at the meta, I felt like this is the first time in ages where we have like a limited meta that doesn't seem to be very much narrow. This is a very wide meta where you have a lot of options that you can use. And so I was very excited for it. We already did a video earlier on actually, for this cup where we did some test battles. And I was alright with the team. I think this team actually worked out quite well as well. But I felt like it could be a bit better. And there were certain things that I kind of noticed, and there were certain things that I kind of wanted to adapt towards as well. And so today we're going to take a look at the team here that I had as well in my top team video, and I think is absolutely fantastic. We're going to have a team here around Lanturn. Lanturn is amazing in this current meta, and we will see here already why. This Pokemon with a water gun has so much pressure against so many of those Pokemon currently that it just allows it to beat most of the teams nearly on its own. And so, for example, here, we're going to have a Diggersby here against us. Diggersby is going to be a matchup that we're definitely going to be playing out for a little bit because we have Surf and we're going to have Water Gun dealing a super effective damage against the opponent and doing quite a lot of that as well, as you're going to be able to catch the move here, which would be a super effective hit. It's not a super effective hit on this Pokemon, it's just going to be neutral on our Sableye. Sableye is going to be our Sace-Up. This Pokemon is going to be very cool in this meta. There are going to be other Pokemon that work out quite well as well as a Sace-Up. One that I think might be even a little bit cooler for this team, and a little bit better if you have a good IV version of it, is the Pokemon that's coming back soon into quests as well, which is worth getting and worth trading. It is Spiritomb. Spiritomb is a Pokemon that got access to the fast move of Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch just seems to be a little bit more, I don't know, like more usable in this kind of meta compared to Shadow Claw. Shadow Claw is still a good fast move. Sableye still worked out quite well in this meta as well. Sableye has other qualities that, for example, the Spiritomb doesn't have, that allows it to shine in other situations a little bit better. For example, the fast speed to the charge moves. But generally speaking, if you don't have a Shadow Sableye, don't worry, go for a Spiritomb. Spiritomb is quite cheap to build as well. It doesn't really take that much for it, so yeah, definitely try to go for that instead. And yeah, as you're gonna see as well, the next battle we're going to have Diggersby against us. They're sadly still gonna get to another move, and so sadly we are not going to be able to win this one here, as the opponent can go for a Fire Punch to knock out our Murkrow. For Murkrow in the back, there are going to be alternative options as well. Of course, the most obvious one is going to be the Galarian Moltres. This Pokemon would have a lot of play there as well. But as you can see here, we are going to be able to go ahead and go for a charge move against the opponent. It's going to be the Surf coming through against their Ferret. And we can swap out into our own Sableye again. This is going to be a Trailblaze coming in. And we will see here as well the Wigglytuff coming in next. We can go for a Power Gem. This is totally alright for us. We can go ahead and just go for the hard-hitting charge move here, doing some solid damage. Here, it's, for example, I think you do a little bit more with the Sableye as well against this Pokemon compared to Spiritomb, even though Spiritomb's fast move does a little bit more. Anyway, it's not a great matchup generally speaking, but Sableye is not here in order to really win those matchups. Sableye is here to set up basically our Murkrow in the back. We want to get rid of all the answers for the Murkrow, and we were able to get rid of one of the answers for the Murkrow. As you can see, the opponent has a Gastron in the back, and with Ferret here already revealed, I know we're in a great spot because our Murkrow has so much potential here to win this battle. As we will see as well, we're going to be able to use a shield here against the opponent's Ferret. It's against the Trailblaze, which I don't think it really made sense there for them to go for that. Like, I don't know, if they went for Swift, they would have been able to get 2 moves off, which would have helped them definitely in the long run. But we take it. They're still going to get to a Body Slam here with their Gastron, but I know that they're not at 2 moves yet, so I can just go ahead and go for another fast move. Go for the Drill Peck. The Drill Peck is always the better move if it's neutral with both of the charge moves. This is going to do a lot of damage, enough to even knock them out here already, and Murkrow is such a good closer here. But to be fair, the star of this team is by far the Lanturn. Lanturn is amazing in this current meta. Lanturn is something that you have to kind of be prepared for, or it's gonna destroy you. And here we're going to actually have an interesting team with Ariados. And this was specifically an interesting team where I'm like curious on what they were thinking with it. Because what we're going to see here is I swap out into my Sableye, I decided to let the move go through as well. And they decided to use a shield here, and they decided to go for a Shadow Sneak. I don't know why they have Shadow Sneak on this Pokemon. There was actually a time where I also had Shadow Sneak on my Ariados. If you are a long-time viewer of this channel, I don't know if you still remember, there was a series literally early on when I started my channel where it was like a YouTuber versus YouTuber thing. where basically all the top YouTubers for PvP were kind of battling against each other. And yeah, it was like a draft league. And I had Ariados picked there as well before it even got buffed in any kind of way. And I used in one specific matchup the Shadow Sneak one just to troll a little bit and to counter one of the ghost type Pokemon that the opponent had there. And it actually worked out for me. And I actually won the entire tournament, by the way, against everyone else. I think the finals were, by the way, super worth watching. I think it was against Though Tactical. They're also on my channel. Of course, I would have liked to have something like this maybe as well in the future. It would be kind of cool to have like a YouTuber collaboration again. I would love to have something like this again. But we see if there is something that maybe someone wants to organize. I currently don't have the time for organization for all of this kind of stuff. But yeah, it was a lot of fun back in the day, if you still remember. But as you can see again, Murkrow going to be able to knock out any kind of Pokemon that doesn't resist the hits. It's kind of crazy in how much damage this Pokemon does. And we are going to be in a perfect spot here to win this battle, as we're going to knock out the opponent's Diggersby. Yeah, this opponent definitely does enjoy Lanturn. They saw Lanturn in the lead, and they decided to go ahead and be like, yeah, goodbye. Next opponent, shoutouts to you, because I'm fairly certain I actually did some test battles with them before on my other video. Like, it's someone I think from a friend is now as well. So shoutouts to you, I'm fairly certain it's you. So let's see on how this battle is going to go. We're going to have here the Charge coming through. We're going to have the Drill Peck coming in. This is going to allow us to get the shield from them. All alright so far. We can go for another Drill Peck before they can debuff us further. And this is looking really good for us so far. We're going to be able to just get the shield from them. We're going to have them low already. This is going to be cool. We can just go ahead and use a shield there. That's going to be alright. And we have now the next Drill Peck coming through, but the opponent stops out into their Talonflame. As we're going to have our Lanturn here, we are even going to be able to go for the Surf before they even get some damage onto us, which just puts us in a perfect spot to win this battle here. Like, we're in such a good spot now. Like, we have energy advantage still on our Murkrow. We're still going to be able to survive a hit here, by the way, because Lanturn has a ridiculous bulk. Like, Lanturn has so much bulk here, it can easily take a Grass Knot from a Credilli. And we can go for the Surf to knock them out now. And now it's 3 Pokemon versus 1. What do they have in the back? It is going to be the Greninja. 1 Drill Peck should most likely even be enough to either knock them out or put them into 1-pack range. It's in 2-pack range. I'm sorry for that. Underestimated Greninja. But yeah, good game there. What a game that was. Here we're going to have a Pokemon that's honestly totally alright for us in the lead. We resist the fast move. Scissor is not going to enjoy this matchup in the 2-shit scenario either. They have to go for Trail Base in order to do significant damage against us. And we just going to have the pressure here with our fast move and our charge move. And as all charge moves are resistant on Murkrow, I thought it might be a fun idea to catch the move here. If I had Moltres, it would have made way more sense to do this. Here I'm going to get involved now from the opponent's Dunsparce. That is what it is. I am going to be able to go for a charge move here. I'm alright with that. And I was thinking here that maybe it would be best to keep my Lanturn healthy. And so I swapped out into my Sableye, which will take neutral damage from the Drill Run still. And it will take quite a bit of damage there. But it's not going to be doing as much as it would have done against the Lanturn. And so I rather let the moves go here. I am going to get up to another move and swap out now to try to farm them all the way down with my Lanturn. I'm not able to do it in time, but I still have a foul play stored for later on my Sableye, which could come in clutch. But we don't know what they have in the back yet, and we will see here as well. They're going to have the Altaria. That is not going to be ideal for us. That's going to be a loss here for sure, because we just... Oh, wait. Maybe Lanturn actually has some play here. Like, I don't know what Lanturn is doing, but Lanturn is getting them quite low here already just with a Thunderbolt. A little bit of fast move pressure there with a resisted fast move is also kind of mad. I can use a shield here. I have no chance, right? I have no chance at this point anymore. I'm forced to go for the Surf. I have a charge move still stored on my Sableye, but it's not looking good at all. The opponent even lets the move go here, and they have the Scissor still. Yeah, that's going to be a good game. I don't have shields anymore left, and this is going to just not really work out. Close game, though. I think if I had Moltres, I most likely would have been in a better spot, but yeah, good game. They even had a double attack boost there. Another horrible matchup for us is actually the Abomasnow. Abomasnow is a core breaker for this team. It is a core breaker. There's no real talking around it. It is definitely a tough Pokemon to deal with. This is only the only Abomasnow they have faced so far. There are a lot of good answers to Abomasnow as well in the current meta, so like I wouldn't expect that it would be the most common one. That being said, I still think it's a good Pokemon to run in this current meta because you're going to have a lot of targets as well. You have like Credilli, you're going to have the Altaria. You're going to have a lot of Pokemon that are kind of weak to ice in the current meta. But also, yeah, I guess it's actually a very good Pokemon, the Abomasnow currently. I think it's a good Pokemon to run. But yeah, we're going to have here, sadly, now our Murkrow. But we actually are not giving up here yet. because, again, by the way, also battles are randomized in all of my videos, so like they're not in a row. Even if I said 5-0, you saw already in the beginning me claiming it with this team. Yeah, it is just because most days some of the battles of the first set are still in here, at the end if I lose this one. But I'm actually going to be able to get some damage in here with my Murkrow, get the KO against them. They are even going for a charge move, which I found quite interesting. And so I was like, do I still have a chance of winning this one? The opponent does super effective damage. I do just resisted damage. I highly doubt it. I honestly highly doubt it. Yeah, they mostly put us down to range for Weather Ball. Energy Balls coming through. We actually still survive, which is already kind of great task from our Lanturn. Thunderbolt is going to now connect, doing some solid damage, but it just barely is not enough to win us this battle here. If I went for Double Surf, I'm curious if I actually would have been able to get there. Double Surf is cheaper. I maybe actually would have had a chance of winning this one. Anyway, we're going to have Lanturn against Charizard. This is, of course, going to be a great matchup for us. We have the Guzzlord coming in, and we don't have a great answer against Guzzlord, right? But honestly, because we already know that there's a Charizard there, we have quite a bit of an advantage here. Because as long as my Lanturn is alive, I'm actually quite happy here. I think as long as my Lanturn is alive, I actually have a guaranteed chance of really winning this one, or like being at least in a good position later on. Because Murkrow, even though Murkrow is going to be squishy, and even though Murkrow is not going to be able to win this matchup against Guzzlord, it put down to range for one foul play from my Sableye. Sableye, on the other hand as well, if you have energy on this Pokemon, you're not going to really want to bring a Charizard into that one either. You have Power Gem here. So like, we are in a very solid position. I'm forced to use a shield here though. That's going to be kind of something I have to do for sure. I'm going to overfarm the most amount possible, which is 4 fast moves. They're always going to get their move after 3. So like, Guzzlord is honestly having a lot of play in this tournament as well. But as you can see, we're going to get the KO. We're going to see the Charizard come in. I stop out of here, and they stop out into Steelix. And again, this is why Lanturn is so great. It's not only an anti-flyer, it's also an anti-anti-flyer. It's against here, this anti-flying type Pokemon of Steelix, trying to counter those flyers in this meta. But it's going to be able to knock this one out as well. And it's going to be able to do that quite easily, leaving with a Surf Stored, which is going to be now great against the Charizard. But even if the Charizard would have knocked us out here with a Blast Burn, I would have still had my Sableye with the Power Gem, and we would have been able to win this battle no matter what. And so we're going to be able to now move on to the next game here, the final game for today. We're going to see the Piloswine. This Piloswine stopping out into the Bibarel, and I was like, that is an awkward Pokemon for this team. All my team doesn't really want to face it. But honestly, Murkrow, out of all the Pokemon, which does take super effective fast move damage here, is actually quite alright. It is not too bad, because we can knock them out with one Drill Peck, and we generally would outspeed them. Of course, they have now an energy advantage, which means they are going to be able to get another shot move off here, which I'm going to be forced to shield, but I will be able to outspeed them afterwards, so like I'm not going to be in the worst position here. The Piloswine is coming in here now, the Icicle Spear is coming in, and we're going to be able to go into our Lanturn now to get the farm down done, but because I can't farm down in time or get to a move in time, I'm forced to catch the move here. It is a not super effective, it's a very hard hitting, high horsepower, and we have to see what they have in the back here. They didn't go for any fast move here, which I found interesting. I wonder what they have in the back. But they have the Bibarel still, which we actually still get to a move here, which is crazy good for us, that we can get the KO with our Sableye. And now it just depends on what they have in the back. It is the Talonflame. That's a good game. There is nothing they can do anymore. We have the perfect answer still aligned here. And this is going to be it for today's video. There's going to be another video most likely later on anyway, so stay tuned for this. I have a different team that I already played the games for as well, which was a lot of fun, climbed me a little bit more points as well. So definitely stay tuned for that. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye bye.